Good day, everybody. I am Shmi, and I make guides for Path of Exile's Ruthless mode. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more. Today, I'm back to teach you how to create a different version of the Hinekora Righteous Fire build. You see, I was mapping on my Hinekora Righteous Fire build, and I came to realize that I'd invested so much into making Righteous Fire work that it was unnecessary. The build felt like it was an actual caster build, and that Righteous Fire was just a meme that I'd added on top of it. So instead, I designed and created this Hinekora Shaman. This build is so solid that you can even play it as either cold or lightning. I wanted to push it as far as I could, so I experimented by leveling it up using Wintertide brand, and even then the leveling experience was a breeze. However, due to the resistance ignoring power of the Rumako Ascendancy, in the end it's far better to keep the build as fire, so that's what I'm showing you today. It will work if you want to do something else, but your ability to progress deep in maps will be limited unless you can find relevant support gems that will penetrate for whatever your elemental damage type is. You also can play the build with just Fireball and Flame Wall, but you'll likely find that your AoE clear speed will be lacking. I would recommend using your first uncarved gemstone to pick up either Firestorm, Incinerate, or Flame Blast as a complement to both Fireball and Flame Wall to make your AoE clear speed as fast as possible. If you want to create a Hinekora Shaman, your first task is to make a farm witch and take her as far as finishing the Breaking Some Eggs quest in the Mudflats. This will give you Fireball, Flame Wall, and your choice of either Raised Zombie or Freezing Pulse as temporary filler spells. You also get the extra flasks I see a lot of players forgetting. Please remember that you can sell 3 small life flasks for 1 medium life flask and start using it as soon as level 3. Once you've transferred everything to your stash, go ahead and create your Hinekora Shaman Marauder. If you watched the Righteous Fire build video, I'll put a link up in the corner if you want to check it out, you may remember that there was some real nasty pathing that you had to do in order to get your Marauder enough intelligence to use his skill gems. While it is still slightly beneficial to transfer a Lapis Amulet, in this build it's unnecessary. You'll eventually need to find about 40 intelligence from your gear, but that's not until the end game. And if you want, you can instead spend 3 passive points to take the notable skills Deep Wisdom and Deep Thoughts. This will help your mana, but it will more importantly solve your intelligence problem entirely for just the cost of 3 additional passive points, and that can all be done after you complete the campaign. In this build, your intelligence problem completely goes away. With the Hinekora Shaman, you take a different approach to solving the intelligence problem as you level. Early on, you're simply going to head straight to Templar College, and then keep going to Witch Grad School. With this method, you'll have far more than enough intelligence to use and level up your skills. The only annoyance is that you can't equip Flame Wall until about level 10. That's it. This build is a full league starter build that works great as your first character if you want to try out Ruthless mode. Eventually, around level 60 or so, you will need to fix your early pathing. When you first level up and you path up to the Templar area, you're going to use this path, but in the final build, you want to be using this path instead. All this means is that starting around level 55 or so, you'll want to double up your pathing on the left, connecting the Devotion cluster to the Barbarism cluster. Once you are connected on both the left and the right, you're going to use the passive refund points earned through the campaign to refund the leveling pathing that you used, and then you're done with your pathing. For your Ascendancies, you're going to be using Hinekora, Tessalio, and Rumako. I tried taking Hinekora first, and while it did help, I ran into resistance problems in Acts 6 and 7. I would recommend taking Tessalio first, then Hinekora with your second Ascendancy, and then Rumako before you hit the end game. If and when you can finish the Eternal Labyrinth, you would take Velako, Storm's Embrace. As you progress into the endgame on your Hinekora Shaman, you have 3 choices. Choice number 1 is to use this cluster jewel socket. That would be best, but of course requires that you have a cluster jewel. Choice number 2 would be to focus on your offense, developing upward into the Templar area so that you can take Holy Fire and Purity of Flesh. And choice number 3 instead is to focus on your defense and your life, where instead of developing up, you're going to develop downward into the Marauder area so that you can take Bloodless and Soul of Steel. If you wish to unleash the power of Hinekora, you can play this Hinekora Shaman and become the erupting volcano. You will engulf Rayclast in flames and purify everything in the names of your ancestors. And when you hit the endgame, you won't just work on the Atlas, you'll burn through it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care, Exiles.